Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nicky Muscle from MitigateStress.com. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be discussing a quick start guide to build muscle. Muscle we will be talking about a lot more in the future, longer form content, why it's important to build muscle. We will also dive deep into each and every category separately for each video in the future. We do have a new fitness website called www.rpm.fit, which stands for Recovery Performance Muscle. That's where we will be selling our functional bodybuilding courses, as well as we'll be coming out with a functional bodybuilding membership for anyone and everyone, male, female, old, young, doesn't matter. We want to come out with a membership because we want to build a community. We want to cater to more people. It's basically going to be like online personal training, group training for cheap. And once we get to a cap, we will increase the price. So it's we can only cater to so many people at once. So as we bring on more people, we will increase the price. So this video, by the way, I want to mention this, is very important. We have a huge following of mostly females, right? Just the way it is. This is just as important for females to build muscle as it is for men, in our opinion. Young, old, doesn't matter. So anyone and everyone. So pay attention, ladies. This is very important. So first and foremost, we're going to be talking about tracking calories, quality and quantity. A lot of people say only quantity matters. Well, quality obviously matters too. So quantity is the most important. Whatever diet you're on, a lot of people undereat, especially if they are doing a diet. So quality and quantity using the app known as Chronometer. That's a great app to download on the App Store or the Google Play Store. That just makes it easy to help you figure out how many calories you are eating. So we have to figure out a baseline. Then we want to add an additional maybe 250, maybe 500 calories, depending on your height and weight. So get into a 250 to 500 caloric surplus. And then you want to use the app also to track your micronutrients, right? Minerals, vitamins, but also your macronutrients, more importantly. So your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, which we would recommend 40% carbs, 30% protein, 30% fats. You can play with that ratio if you want. Most people recommend 50, 25, 25 or 60, 20, 20. I used to do that. I currently do high fat, moderate protein, low carb, but this is what I would do if I was consuming more carbs. Carbs are protein sparing. You definitely need them to build muscle, at least a lot of muscle, especially if you're struggling with muscle gains. But you also need sufficient protein, sufficient fat, obviously. Now, what type of fats? Grass-fed, grass-finished. You could do raw heavy cream, grass-fed, raw grass-fed butter, raw egg yolks, raw cacao butter, organic. You could do raw organic coconut oil and the cacao butter if you're vegan, and stone-pressed olive oil, right? So those are a good combination. And then protein, grass-fed, grass-finished meats, some scallops, protein. I know fish can be a little bit expensive. Eggs as well. Carbohydrates, all these foods should be preferably local, but your carbohydrates could be organic squash, organic baked potato peeled, and organic sweet potato. That's pretty much all you need, really. All right, so number 2 is sleep well. We wrote a pretty in-depth blog about this. I got to do a video about that, but sleep well. There's so many things to talk about that, but the number one thing I want to talk about with number 2 is daily naps. So get your daily naps in 10 to 60 minutes a day, earplugs, eye mask, do your Buteyko breathing like we talk about in the breathing video, which I'll mention down below as well. And most people complain to me, they say, I don't have time to sleep. There's no way I don't have time to nap. You got 10 minutes to nap a day, and you can do these little 10-minute spurts throughout the day if you want, and just get in the habit of doing it. Everything here is about consistency, right? If you just like the fat loss video, it's all about consistency. It's all about tracking, it's developing habits. It's being consistent with the sustainable habits. Most importantly, it has to be sustainable and realistic, practical, right? So daily naps, if you only got 10 minutes, that's fine. If you got 10 minutes twice a day, do that. Or 20 minutes, work up to 60 minutes though. Once a while, maybe once a week, do a 90-minute nap or something. That helps. We're just trying to get our sleep bank rich, right? Fill that sleep bank up. Number 3, active recovery. This is very important. So riding a bike, a lot of people do this. I got this idea from Stan Efferding when I used to bodybuild and powerlift. And basically he would use the stationary bike, which I don't recommend, to recover a lot faster because it's basically just pumping blood and nutrients into the tissues. It's helping removing the metabolic waste products. It's helping you recover so much faster. I recommend doing daily walks, 30 to 90 minutes a day, preferably after each meal if you can. If you want to just do it all in one go, 30 to 90 minutes, that's fine. If you want to split them up, 30 minutes 3 times a day or 10 minutes 3 times a day after each meal, that works really, really well to balance your hormones, improve digestion, and etc. All right. So again, active recovery is so important because circulation, drainage, creating space, ventilation, the twisting alone is so important. There's so many reasons to talk about active recovery. Again, we'll do a whole nother video on that. Number 4 is foundational movements. So total body strength-based movements and going at I'd say roughly 10 to 15 rep range, but making sure that you are progressively overloading your stats. What does that mean? Tracking your weights, your strength, your power, your tempo, how slow you're moving the weight, your reps, your sets, your time under tension. You could even track with just time, how much time each set. And making sure that your tension is with intention. That's what we talk about with functional bodybuilding. We want to actually making sure that we're building muscle intentionally, right? So it's practical movements, practical muscle building techniques, which we talk about in our course and our functional bodybuilding membership coming out soon, online personal training. But foundational movements, progressive overload, I just said that, tracking everything, improving every week, and 3 times a week. That's important. Also, before you do the foundational movements, if you want to bring up certain muscle body parts, you can do some pre-exhaustion techniques, which we will go into detail on another video. For example, if you're doing shoulders, right? Like a delt movement, you want to, well, I said total body, so it'd be like a, let's see, like a snatch, right? If we're doing that, we could pre-exhaust our delts with face pulls, something like that, something simple. Number 5 is going to be hydration. Sodium, magnesium, potassium, calcium, and trace minerals and bicarbonates. All bioavailable forms of each mineral. So Icelandic sea salt, magnesium, we sell magnesium bicarbonate, the world's best magnesium. We will link down below with bioavailable potassium and sodium in it as well. And then calcium, you could do raw dairy and or you could also add in pearl powder. I really like that as a calcium supplement. Also, trace minerals, we sell Shilajit. You could buy that. That could be your trace mineral supplement. And then bicarbs, again, we sell magnesium bicarbonate. Bicarbs are very important. They're like little batteries for our body, very hydrating, very energizing, very, very important, very alkalizing. And you can also drink certain European sparkling water brands like Gerolsteiner or other bicarbonate-rich waters. So, number 6 is going to be mindset. This is very important. This helped me a lot when I was bodybuilding. So you have to be able to feel and believe and know that you're going to get there. And you have to, most importantly, be able to visualize and see what type of body you want, right? What type of gains you want. And you have to have self-belief. You have to be consistent and you have to be grateful. You have to be grateful where you're at, that you're able to even work out. But you also have to have a vision board, perhaps. Let me explain this. So when I started building muscle when I was like 16, well, I started before that actually, but when I started getting serious, I don't know, like 16, I looked at like a fitness model who was actually kind of skinny. He was one of the skinniest ones I saw, but I believed it enough. I was like, oh, I can get there because I was lean as heck. I was very strong as a kid, but I was very lean. And I was like, oh, I can achieve that. And I did within a year. And I was like, okay, what's the next one? I went up a little bit more, about 15 more pounds, I'd say, a guy. And, well, I eventually achieved that in like 3 years and so forth. The rest was history, right? So visualize, have a good mindset, be positive, be optimistic, believe, be consistent. You're going to have setbacks, of course, always. They're annoying, I know, but track everything, be consistent, build these habits. Make sure you focus on these 6 fundamental categories, and we will dive deeper into muscle building continually with this series over and over. So if you got any questions, like this one was from a customer, simply shoot us an email at support@mitigatestress.com and we will get back to you as soon as we can. God bless. Peace.